Can Oh, good. Are you side by side?
Yes, I think we're live. We did it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Rachel, this is okay. Is this the maybe sixth, seventh time we've done this?
Oh gosh.
Your season
I
now.
maybe the 5th or the 6th, but hello, my beautiful friend.
Hello,
Hello.
my beautiful friend. I'm so excited that you are here today. Oh my gosh. And for those of you tuning in, thank you so much for being here. And um, today's really special because we're going to talk about struggle. And
Mm,
I've got Rachel Freeman Sowers, who is in our community right now and who has experienced the struggle recently. And so she can talk about this, but also from a registered counselor's perspective as well. Did I get that
yeah.
right?
Licensed marriage and
Thank you.
family therapist,
Thank you.
visibility coach.
Yes, licensed marriage and family therapist, visibility coach. So you can really shed light on the struggle because here's the
Mhm.
deal. A lot of us were on track the first part of this year, coming out of COVID. We're like, let's do this. And then the summer hit. And I feel like in the summer, it was a different summer. It was a summer where we were making up for lost time, right? Campsites were open
Yep.
again, travel was open again, restaurants, patios, people feeling a little bit more confident about hanging out. And
Mhm.
so things went sideways for a lot of people really quickly, including myself. And I know you experienced that too. And recently we got on a call and you're like, you know what, Simone, I'm really, really struggling.
Mhm.
And August was, it didn't go the way I had planned. And, I released 30 pounds initially in this program, which is so exciting, over 30 pounds. I'm so excited, over
Mhm.
22 inches, but now I'm struggling. And we got to work, basically, is what we did.
Yep.
And you have made a major comeback. And today I want to talk about that comeback and I want to talk about what you did to get back from the struggle.
Mhm. Well, the summer for me was like this lull, and it was like, shh. There was like, there's like, shh, I'm gonna do these things. Like I'm gonna go out. And I don't mean like go out and party and stuff, but like to go camping and do all those things. And it was almost like, okay, if I do a few of the things, okay, it's better than none of the things. But then oftentimes it would be one thing that like I would eat my oats, and then the whole rest of the day, it would be like, oh, I found myself wanting to get caught up in the socialization, wanting to be a part of that stuff. And it's not like we don't want to be a part, but at the same time, it's like you get tired of constantly feeling like you have to fight against something.
Mm.
Oh,
Yes.
I can't do this, or, I have to do it this way. And everyone else appears to be more free. They appear to be more joyful and all those things. And they very well may be. But the fact of is that sometimes you do feel like you're missing out. I mean, that's just the
Yeah.
truth of it.
Yeah. And so I want to say there's absolutely no shame
Hmm.
in going with the moment and enjoying yourself. And if you had that kind of summer, so no shame, no guilt. Like let's not
Nope.
spend any time there. That's wasted energy and wasted time.
Unhelpful.
Yes, unhelpful. We need to move on from that.
Yes.
And but sometimes I see people just like go into this all or nothing. Right. They're like, okay, well now I'm
Mhm,
back. And so I gotta do 7
mhm,
workouts a week and they got to be 1 hour
mhm,
long and I got to eat all the things and I got to remove all of this and
mhm,
they just it's all or nothing and then a bad day hits and they throw the towel in.
mhm,
So you approach things very differently with your own health in a
mhm.
much healthier way. And so I want to hear, how did you make this comeback? What were the steps for you?
So I very much used to be in the extremes, like the all or nothing. I
Mm,
think a lot of people that suffer from an enormous amount of anxiety, either currently or in the past, have been that all or nothing because we can't figure out in our brain how to do it in a more ebb and flow and a more healthy way for ourselves. And so, what I needed to do, okay, what did I do? Organize my ADD brain right here. What I
mhm,
needed to do is I needed to tune back in. And what I mean by that is I needed to tune in and identify what my real truth was. And, I talk about this a lot in the community and I talk about it a lot in my business and in my online realm, is that tuning into this knowing of myself. And I had to take a minute Like all of the all or nothing, that's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. And so when life happens, when I have aging parents, when I have familial issues, when I'm an entrepreneur that's trying to, although I would never change it for the world, you are on your own. You are the sole provider in your business. You are everything. That's
Yeah.
a lot of stress. I was tired. I had a lack of consistency and focus. So tuning in to know what was my truest truth, I guess. And the truth is that what I know to be true for me is that if I eat whole foods, my body feels better. It will release weight. It will release bloating. It'll get my gut back in check. I mean, we've heard this over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So feed myself whole foods. Second is I needed to move my body. It is essential for me ever since I can remember is to have body movement. It decreases anxiety. It increases my focus. It allows me to release emotionally too.
Yeah. I
Right.
feel like I really relate to you as a business owner. If I don't move my body and get my workouts in, I'm a completely different person. You don't want to be around me.
No bueno. It's no bueno. There's some
No
trapped in there.
bueno.
Gotta get it out.
Yeah, my anxiety levels, sometimes same thing. Like, there's a lot of stress and a lot of different things going on. And I love getting our workouts in with our community first thing in the morning. And for me, that first of all lowers my anxiety levels like crazy. And it also sets my focus and intention for the day in a way more positive way, right? And I always say this in our workouts, we're going to release endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine. These are feel-good hormones. So I'll go from, starting my day sometimes where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't feel very good. To, oh my God, like I can handle anything. It's
She really is like that on the workouts too. I was like, what the heck?
But this is movement. Like
Yes.
this is movement.
Yes.
And it strengthens you. And I'll always say this, my food, and I like all the things you're saying is so awesome because I always say my food has healed me from emotional stuff. And my workouts have strengthened me and given me a layer of resilience mentally, emotionally, outside of the workouts. I'm not talking about just, getting strong biceps or quads. Like I'm talking about getting that mental resilience that can, so when things are thrown at you, because life is just going to throw things at you and in your day, there's going to be fires to put out. But because I've got my food healing me and my workout strengthening me, I can handle it.
Well, and I love like that. I love that philosophy and the mindset piece, but I want to take it a level deeper because me,
Yeah.
I'm always about the
take
deep shiz that we're going to go here. It is a heart strengthening, both in the physical sense, but also in the honoring of yourself.
Yeah.
You have to take a minute to tune in. The problem is that we don't take a minute and we get wrapped up and we have these other parts of us that are saying, hey, I need this, I need that, I'm scared about this. I'm not, and it causes you all of these things. But if you're strengthening your heart, I mean, like the reason I love cardio is because I find a rhythm of breathing. Is because I feel myself with every breath then become energized. Like it's an amazing feeling.
Yes.
Right.
And you're talking about heart, and with that goes self-care. This is time for honoring your body and honoring self-care and honoring you. And as mamas, and you're a mama too, we tend to take care of everybody around us before we take care of ourselves. And I know right now you have stuff with your parents that you're dealing with, and that's not easy. My goodness, so many people in our community relate to that. But this is, if you take care of you and fill up your cup first, you have so much more to give everybody around you.
And you have the ability to live your life the way that you want to and interact in your life the way that you want to. I mean, people don't believe us. Let's just say us. People don't always believe us, and we can't convince you. But if you want to play with the possibility that you can have and be and feel the way that you want to, yes, it's going to come with the moments of having to sit, because the other thing that I needed to do is I needed to really notice where I was at. I needed to say, the reality is that this is where I'm at. That doesn't mean anything bad about me. It doesn't mean I've done all of these things wrong. What it means is that this is where I'm at. And as soon as I can identify where I'm at, then I have the ability to know where I want to go. I don't have to know why. I clearly know why. Like
Mhm.
you clearly, those of you watching or listening, you know why you're where you're at theoretically.
Mhm.
What we need to find out is what you want instead. What did I want instead? And I wanted to feel energy again. I wanted to
Mhm.
feel like my body was being fueled
Yeah.
instead of deprived, right?
Yeah.
All of those things. And to sit in that space and to be able to shift it, that is the way you quickly shift your reality. Like
Yeah.
that, it really is what needs to happen.
And so your why basically came down to, I want more energy in my day.
Well, I wanted to experience my life like I was experiencing it before, and except on the next level,
Mhm.
right? Because I knew once our bodies don't forget any kind of trauma, but on the same realm, our bodies don't forget anything that happens to it that's good, that it loves. But we just don't spend any time there.
Right. Right.
We need to spend time there. Like
Yeah.
I was talking to a client yesterday, and they were like, well, you know, I love a challenge. I love it being hard. But the fact of the matter is that when we forget to play with the good things. We forget to play and stay in those good feelings. Like, what else could happen if I stay here?
That's
Like,
powerful.
what else can happen if I continue to eat whole foods in a way that is good for my body?
Yeah.
And, you know, I mentioned to you before, it's like this never happened to me ever before in my life, but my body is like craving water. And that tells me my body needs it. It needs hydration. It needs to be able to cleanse itself. My kidneys, my liver, all
Yes.
of the things, the lactic acid in my muscles, they're like, please, please cleanse us out. Please
Isn't that
help
amazing?
us.
Our bodies are amazing, and they will talk
Yes,
to us, and they will tell us what
absolutely.
we need. And so listen to your cravings for good stuff,
Mhm.
right? Get off the
Yeah.
bad stuff first. If you're having cravings for the sugar and the bread and things that don't serve you, it's because you've been feeding your body that. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, the more you feed your body that, the more it's going to want it and eat
Mhm.
it. So you got to stop. But once you start fueling your body right, it starts like I start craving salads,
Yep. That
right?
wellness detox shot.
Yeah, the wellness detox shot. This is good. This is where you want your
Seriously.
body. These are the cravings that you want to get to. And if you're not there yet, just trust that it can happen
Yeah.
over time. But I mean, you really made this comeback in a couple of weeks. So you're saying it started with honoring your body and trusting um your body, also listening to where you're at and not going
Mhm.
all out.
Right. So in like returning back to that knowing, the knowing that I knew what was best for me,
Mm-hmm.
that I know that path, and then listening to that and actually doing that thing. And over a couple of weeks, this is sometimes in the past, it would take months. And as many people who are watching and listening to this will know, it takes months and sometimes it takes years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm 50 and I don't want it to take any effing more years.
Yeah.
Like I've got some life to live. I got some impact to make. And this is why I'm not settling for the years or the months anymore. And the skills and the tools I use are the same ones that you've used over the last few weeks. I mean, let's be real.
Mhm.
Nothing has been easy over the last 3 months.
No,
And people say like, oh, why are you bringing up COVID again or whatever? Because the COVID emotional pain is not gone.
it's not
It is
gone.
just now coming out
Yeah.
for so many people.
Yes. Yes.
We think, oh, it's over. I don't have to. Nope. Your body is remembering lockdown. I'm going to get sick. What am I going to do? I
Yeah.
don't
What?
have any income.
Totally.
It's still
Yeah.
in there
Yeah.
unless
It's
you've
still
gotten
in
it
there.
out. Like that could be possible. But if you haven't, it's in there.
Yeah. And we got some healing to do. And the more
Absolutely.
people I talk to, the more I hear of just struggle, that we're all
Hmm.
struggling with something.
Hmm.
We're not the only ones. Um, with that knowledge, know that you're not alone. So if you're
Yes.
if you're here right now, listening or watching, just know that you are 1000% not alone.
Mhm.
And that you can do the things. So we should break it down. Because this is what I will always say is if you're like in the midst of chaos and struggle, and it really feels like there's no way out, because sometimes life is so overwhelming that you
Mhm.
truly cannot breathe. And I've been
Yes.
there, and you're like,
Yes.
I can't work out. I can't nourish my body well. Like I can't even go there. It's too much. Well, let's start small. Let's start with
Yes.
one. And so I'll always ask you, what is one thing, just one thing that you can do right now that is going to push the needle a little bit closer to your health goals? And make it about health. Like if you have fat loss goals, I get that, but fat loss is actually about health. Unwanted weight is a health concern. So
Mhm.
make it about your health, which is a way more positive way to spin things. And what can you do to push the needle closer right now to your health? And for me, it's always water. And that's the first thing, because
Mhm.
water is going to cleanse you, it's going to energize you. And if you don't trust me, just try it. Go for it one day where you have all of your water, and you will feel completely different.
Mhm.
And you'll be motivated to do this on a regular basis. And right here, I'm giving you the best advice, and it's the best advice because it's free. Water is free and it doesn't take extra time. This takes no extra time. You're doing it while you're typing.
Right. And I think,
Mhm.
I mean, like for me, I agree with the water. And for
Mhm.
me, it's movement.
Mm,
Anyone that has anxiety and depression and the constant monkey mind and mind chatter and what do I do, feeling like you can't make decisions, is to move the body. It's
yeah.
also free.
Yes.
And
Yes, it
honestly,
is.
like I have walks timed around my neighborhood. I have a 7-minute walk timed, I have an 11-minute walk
Mhm.
timed, and I have a 30-minute walk time.
I love it. I love it.
Because
We can all walk. Yes.
right.
And that's a great place to start. And I know you're doing the 13-day detox starting on Monday.
Mm.
And you have some friends and loved ones and clients doing it with you, which I'm
Yes,
so
yes.
excited about it.
Yes.
But we're not going to be working out during this 13-day detox,
Mhm.
unless you're part of our VIP community. But um, we are going to be walking, and we're going to be focusing on getting our steps in, because this is a great start. This is a great way
Mhm.
to start getting that movement in, like you're talking about. And then afterwards, we can start to get the workouts in.
Mhm.
So again, like don't have that all or nothing attitude. And this is,
Mhm.
working with women for so many years, I always hear harder is better, longer is better when it comes to workouts, right? We've been told that we
Mhm.
got to go hard. It's got to be so, so, so hard, right? Like it has to annihilate you by the end. If you're able to stand up, this is not good. Or that's if you're able, right? If you're, yeah, exactly. And the other thing is longer, like shorter workouts don't work. And then when it comes to our food, we've been told that less is better, right? Starve
Yeah.
yourself,
That's
less
not for me.
calories, crazy calorie deficit. That's not for you. And this is not what we do. So we need to, all of us, get
Mhm.
this out of our minds and our brains, and reprogram ourselves, because this is the old way of doing things that it doesn't work. And if you have been doing things like this, just ask yourself, has it been working for you? And the answer is probably not. And if it does, it's for a short term, but then you put all that weight back on plus more once you realize you can't sustain it anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the best way to move forward is doing things in a very sustainable way.
Mhm.
Our workouts are no longer than 20 to 30 minutes long. Our workout today is cardio hit. You love cardio? Yes,
Oh
you
my,
can do
yeah.
it.
I'm glad it's only like 20.
It's yeah.
I
And
mean, like I'm strong and stuff, and I like
oh, you
it's
just you did a 545 mile
yeah, bike ride.
bike ride.
Yeah.
So you can handle cardio, and these guys, like they're not easy, right? You can take it at your own level, but this is what you want to be doing. Those days of doing longer workouts are out the window. That is going to set you up for failure, because A, it's not sustainable.
Mhm.
We cannot handle 1 hour in our day. It's too much. And second, you're actually going to start releasing way too much cortisol in your body. Cortisol is your stress hormone. And if that is out of whack and it's running
Mhm.
high, you are not going to see results. And 9 times out of 10, when a client is struggling or plateauing, that's the first thing that we look at.
Mhm. Well, when we talked and it was like, okay, look at and tracking, like I needed to go back and track. I needed to go back to the basics, right? What you're talking about with the water is going back to basics. What I'm talking about in movement is going back to basics. It's not like these high
Yes.
tech, all of this stuff. I have to have all of these things. This is where it can be more ease if you allow yourself to stop taking the responsibility for everybody and everything, and you only take responsibility for what you want. Now, I'm not saying you ditch your kids and all those kinds of things. We're not talking extremes here. But what I'm saying is that it can be more ease.
Yeah.
Like, and we as women in particular are taught that we handle a lot, and we're often handling everything, quote unquote. So in the work that I do and what you find in your community, it's like, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do that and I can't do this. I'm here to tell all of you that you can do this.
Yeah.
You can start this one step. If you believe and play with the possibility that you can experience something different, because it's really, truly what you're craving. Let's just be honest. You're craving it. So why don't you just give it to yourself? Just saying.
I love that. I love that. So what I want to end with is just a few little tips, because I know these are things that you did without even knowing that you did it. So first, start with your water. That's one thing, right? Get that nailed down. Then ask yourself, okay, what is the next thing? And just one. And the next thing would be getting breakfast within 1 hour of waking up. And this is what we teach you in our community over and over again. But this will stabilize your blood sugar levels for the rest of the day, and it will prevent cravings. It will prevent you from overeating. It is truly magical. Plus, if you are in a high cortisol state, you have anxiety, this is going to actually help to lower that anxiety. Okay.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge for me.
Yeah. And same. And I used to play with intermittent fasting. That absolutely will not work if you are struggling with any type of anxiety. It will backfire on you. So please know that the first thing, okay, first is water. Second, get your breakfast in within 1 hour of waking up. And the third thing, and this is the last one, is get all your meals in. Right? So don't undereat. Most of us are stuck in that old brain of less food equals more results. That is absolutely not the truth. Every time you skip a meal or you undereat, you're going to send your body into starvation mode. In starvation mode, your body is going to store calories, which is exactly what we don't want it to do. It's going to store those calories as fat. So we need to tell the body that food is coming in. This is when it relaxes. And this is why our clients are seeing phenomenal results. And I get it. I get a message literally every day. I can't believe how much food I'm eating. I can't believe I don't feel deprived. I can't believe that I'm not dieting or starving myself. And I am seeing results. This is when you get, now we figure out exactly how much food you should be having because everybody's different, right? This is important, but most of us are under eating and skipping meals. And this is definitely what you want to avoid. So water, breakfast, and get all your meals in. Those are the 3 basic steps to come back to if you're coming off of a time of struggle right now. This is where I want you to get to. Also, our cleanse. Our cleanse is a phenomenal way to reset the body, reset the brain, so that we can get into that healthier eating, that whole food eating that you're talking about. Cleanse the gut, cleanse the liver, allow the organs to function as they should.
Yep. I mean, it's such a great starting point because it's only 13 days.
Yeah, we can like visualize 13 days. It's doable. Yeah, it's not like, okay, I got to do this for a whole year. Yeah, but in 13 days, you're going to start feeling so good and you're going to want to do more. That's the best part, is that you're going to build so much momentum that you're like, I've got this now. I can do this now. That's what's so magical about it.
So will you give yourself the opportunity?
Yeah.
Will you do it? I mean, like, I'm a little bit more bold than Simone over here. But like, seriously, I hear so often, and even some of the people that I've invited, oh, I can't, there's just so much going on. There will always be so much going on until you decide to break the pattern. This could be the time to decide. The support that you get during the 13-day detox is huge, huge. You're not alone in there unless you choose that you want to be alone.
Yeah.
Allow someone to help nurture you. Allow someone to help you care for yourself. I just don't know why you wouldn't want to do it, but I get it, right?
Well, I feel the same way. I obviously, because it changed my life.
Mhm.
And, you know, on a personal level, I shared a bit about this yesterday, but I went through like the most heartbreaking, unexpected separation 3.5 months ago. And 3 weeks after, our community was doing the detox. And the last thing I wanted to do, by the way, Rachel, was detox. I wanted to eat chips. I wanted to eat muffins. I wanted to lie on the couch all day and drink rosé. I'm not kidding, because I was in survival mode. I was coping. I could barely sleep. I could barely function.
Mhm.
And our community was doing this, and I'm leading our community, and I'm like, okay, I got to do this with our community.
Mhm.
And I knew that I needed it. I knew that
Mhm.
the continuing to eat stuff that doesn't serve me will not serve me long term, and I'll
Mhm.
feel even shittier. So I knew that I had to commit to this gut detox with our entire community. We did it 250 people, our entire community, which was
It's
so
amazing.
magical. And I went from survival mode to not just functioning, but totally thriving. And people were reaching out to me and they're like, you stopped crying on social media. you're able to talk about it. You are laughing again. You're smiling again. I'm so happy to see that you're smiling again. And I'm telling you right now,
Mhm.
it was because I started with the 13-day gut
Mhm.
detox. It got me, or a 13-day gut detox and liver detox. And it got me, first of all, our emotions and our mental health is connected to our gut health. You and I have talked about this lots before, but it's through the vagus nerve.
Mhm.
And scientifically right now, this is where all the research is at, because mental health is such an issue.
Mhm.
And we are finding that you can fix your mental health and your emotional health through your gut health, through
Yep.
feeding. So you've got your gut microbiome, your bad bacteria and your good bacteria. You want to basically stop feeding the bad bacteria, stop feeding them with things like sugar, gluten, right? This will, or processed foods, and start feeding the good bacteria with prebiotics, probiotics, whole foods, nutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals from food, all from food.
Mhm.
And when you do this is when you reset that gut microbiome and you allow your mental health and your emotional health to thrive. It is absolutely amazing. And this is where I've become obsessed with this stuff, because I'm seeing it working on me. And I'm
Yep.
telling you, when I say that my food has healed me, I am not lying. My food has healed me.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful process.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
whew,
Well,
this is
we got into a lot today, but hey, I'm so impressed with your comeback. And I want to just celebrate the fact that, you know, beyond the over 30 pounds that you've released, 22 inches, you've done a 545-mile bike ride to honor your dad,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
amazing. And you know, you're doing all of your workouts and you are absolutely thriving. So I want to celebrate all of the amazing accomplishments that you have made, and a reminder that we may struggle again. Like you may hit a struggling point
Oh,
again.
girl,
But
it'll happen.
yes, and I don't know if I've shared, I think I've shared this quote with you, Rachel, but it's Mike Tyson's quote, and he says, everything is just fine until you get kicked in. Everybody has a plan until you get kicked in the face. Right. And
Mhm.
so like life is that kick in the face, because life just happens. And just go into this knowing that you can fall off, but that is totally normal and it's totally okay.
Mhm.
But just like you, Rachel, we're not going to take years and months to get back on track anymore. We're going to take a couple weeks to figure it out, or a
And it
couple
could go,
days.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
Yeah.
it substantially decreases the more you
Yes.
allow yourself
Yes.
to tune into what you truly
Totally.
need and honor that every
Yeah.
single time.
Every single time. And you know, the old thing of like, oh, well, I'll start on Monday. I'll start on Monday. I hear people say that all the time. No, today's Tuesday. If you need to start today, start today. We're not waiting another week. You don't
Yeah.
need to wait another week. Start today. And
Yeah.
here's the amazing thing is if you give your all to today and you just start with water because that's where you're at, you're going to feel so good. And you know what? You're going to take that momentum because you feel so good and you're going to want to feel good again tomorrow. And trust me, tomorrow you're going to want to drink all of your water again. And then maybe by the next day, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, actually, you know what? I'm gonna start eliminating sugar from my day because that doesn't feel good anymore. And I'm gonna do all of the water, eliminate my sugar. And then by next week, we're adding breakfast in. This is how you build momentum.
Yeah. And again, it's allowing yourself and your body
Yeah.
to be in the good things, to be in the way
Yeah.
it wants to feel.
Yes.
And you'll
Yes.
naturally go that path every single time.
Yeah. And I love that you had those cravings for that too, right? That's huge.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's leave it
Oh my
there.
gosh, Fred.
If you guys have comments or questions for Rachel or me, I know Rachel absolutely loves it. And you're just such a huge support in our VIP community. So thank you so much for that. And I know you're going to be doing the talk on the first of the month as well. So we now have a regular guest on our VIP live training, which is amazing. You guys get like the real life therapist right here, like
get the
setting
good
us all
shiz.
straight. I love it. I love it. So with that, you guys, I want to wish you a fantastic, healthy day. We love you. We will see you soon. And thank you so much, Rachel, for being here.
You're welcome, my friend. Bye, guys.